it's dreadful. This is a pandemic. This man deserves a huge memorial, memorial.
Well, that's what probably saddens me most. So there are three people who have, more than three, but there three men have died in Washington life during the pandemic, and none of the three were able to be sent off properly. Wes Unseld, Bobby Mitchell, and John Thompson. Three Hall of Fame people in terms of the arena of sports. John, multiple Halls of Fame, but certainly the Basketball Hall of Fame. Bobby Mitchell, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a historic figure in Washington, the first black Redskin, and I'm using that term advisedly. And Wes Unseld. And three enormous figures. And I, other than my father, I think as an adult man, John Thompson, maybe a couple of uncles, John Thompson had more influence than anybody else in my personal life. And with Bobby Mitchell and Wes Unseld, that's a large percentage of my work life, just of my life, covering basketball and football in Washington, D.C. for 30 years, from 1980 to 2010, when I left to come to the network full time. But Big John, it's just, it's just remarkable, sort of who he was, the voice, the size. People used to be so afraid of it. I would laugh, and he would say, "Shut up! You're gonna give me away. Don't tell people I'm a nice guy. Just push over. Don't tell anybody I'm a softie. Ruin my reputation." He ran into my then girlfriend, and she went to Virginia and Duke Law School, and they met. And he said, "Young lady, come over. Let me talk to you. You clearly have academic credentials. You are too smart to be involved with this fool." And my wife got the biggest kick out of it. We talked about it. I texted her this morning. She was on a plane not too long ago when she went up, and Big John insisted on talking to my son, and just sort of, getting to see, who he was. And I had taken him and I had introduced him to him one more time. And I don't even know, how am I going to tell my son who Big John is, who he was? And it's, like I said, we're all, everybody nationally, he's a great basketball coach. Yes, he put out a brand which redefined college basketball. I'm not trying to minimize what he did as a coach. He redefined it. His defense, go look at any tape of the way defense was played, even by John Wooden's UCLA teams in the 1970s, and look at the way it was played after 1978. John's teams, pre-Patrick, but Sleepy Floyd, Craig Shelton, John Duran, guys who played in the NBA. But go look at it after that. Go look at it with Patrick Ewing.
You could make the case, Michael. So Michael, you could make the case that the way that you could make the case that the way that the NBA started playing in the late '80s, that we just saw in The Last Dance, that Georgetown presaged that sort of put you on your ass type defense, the physical nature. You could say that Georgetown ushered in
that documentary, which I'm sure you've seen.
Yes,
Rich. That documentary sort of spells it out, and the pro guys, you're so right. They were so proud of it. I remember when John was coaching the Olympic team, and one of the games leading up to it was played in Charlotte, and that Charlotte team was like an ACC select team, and on it specifically were Michael Jordan, Muggsy Bogues, and Spud Webb. And Big John said to Michael at one point, "Hey, I want you to press our guys. I want you to press our guys, trap them, put real defense on them." And Big John and Michael said, "No, coach, you don't want us to do that, because we're going to play it the way you play it, with our level of skill and talent." And it was funny because whoever was on that Olympic team at the time, the pre-Olympic, the Olympic team, they couldn't even get the ball across half court. And Jordan loved that. That was sort of testimony to Big John and the way he taught defense, but applied by pros, real pros, in real time. Even though it was a summer and they hadn't practiced and it was an exhibition and all that, yes, that defense conveyed, and that intensity conveyed. And, so there's a ton of basketball stuff, but there's the far, far, far better stuff, Rich. Trust me, if you read anything by anybody, Tom Boswell of the Washington Post will write, I know, the best possible obituary because he covered John in high school. He covered Big John, his high school teams.
Mm.
And but Tom Boswell, I'm just telling people in advance, if you want to read something, go to WashingtonPost.com tomorrow, if not tonight, and read whatever Tom Boswell writes about Big John. And it will be something that you remember reading for the rest of your life.
Michael, thanks for the time. Again, it's such a treasure to hear you talk about a man that meant so much to you, and it's a treasure for me that you do it on the day of this man's passing. It's something I do not take lightly. I greatly appreciate it. I love you, and let's talk soon about everything else going on in the sports world.
Rich, love you as well. Thank you for having me. It is a difficult day, but it's probably good, like in a funereal way, to talk about it, and that's what so many of us will do. Elaine Eightman, David Aldridge, and Jay Adonde, and people that you have known all your career. That's what we've started doing today, and some of those people have passed away. Stuart Scott, Brian Burwell, Ralph Wiley. I mean, we were all in a fraternity where you had to earn. You had to earn time, respect, attention, interviews. You had to earn it, and there was no easy way through it. There was no grading on the curve. And so that's what all of us are doing today. And like I said, it's a particularly sad day, but thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Right back at you.